Hello, and welcome to the Books and Podiums podcast. We are officially on episode 3, and this is gonna be great. Now we've got a video as well. So if you want, you can switch over to YouTube, and I'm gonna try add in some visuals as well on the side for some things. But yeah, this week a lot has been going on. We have the Miami Grand Prix. We have round 2 NHL playoffs as well. Some shockers going on there in Game 7. Some Met Gala news. Daniel Ricciardo made his Met Gala appearance this week. And it was really nice, We had Anne Hathaway going up to greet him, saying that she's an F1 fan. I think that really shocked a lot of people. And it was really good to see. Next up, we have one thing that I saw this morning, just before I was going to film this, was Brad Pitt. So I have here on ESPN a tweet that says Brad Pitt will be driving an actual F1 car alongside the rest of the grid at Silverstone as part of a new movie that's in production. And wow, that's so cool, having people do their own stunts. It's dangerous driving an F1 car. You have Oscar Piastri, Logan Sargent, and Nick DeVries, they're rookies in F1, and you can kind of see they're struggling. Not just them, everyone struggles with their car. So having Brad Pitt, who has no prior training, never driven an F1 car before, driving, and not just on a free track, with the rest of the grid during an actual race, that is dangerous. But the FIA hasn't said anything, and something that I saw was Brad Pitt driving is fine, but Lewis Hamilton's nose piercing, that's a big hazard for the drivers. So I'm hoping to change this. I'm hoping we have an actual driver drive instead of him. If not, the FIA has a lot of thinking to do. But apart from that, we had Baku last weekend. So Charles, pole position for Baku. That was really great. Unfortunately though, during the sprint, he only dropped down to Checo. Checo overtook him. But it's a street circuit, and Checo's shown that he's really, really good on street circuits. So no surprise there really. But our podium for the Baku sprint was Checo, Charles, and Max, with George and Carlos 4th and 5th. So for once, Fernando's not 3rd. But you do have the Red Bulls up there because their cars stand fast, especially out on the straights. So this weekend in Miami, that's going to be one to look for, because the track consists of this one long straight and a couple others, but that one long straight's the one that really got my mind wondering about those Red Bulls. Cool. And anyways, for the main race, so again, Charles on pole, but also during the sprint, at the end, Max had a huge hole in his car from when he crashed into George. I mean, no, not when he crashed into George, when George crashed into him. So at the end, just as they reach Park Ferme, you can see George, Max is at the car, and then George is there, and then he's pointing at the hole, and then he's yeah, everyone needs space, but you gotta leave a little bit of space. And he calls George a profanity, which I'm not gonna say, but yeah, that happens. But in Baku, your race winners were Checo, Max, and Charles. So we have a Charles podium, finally, for a main race, not the sprint, because, he came second in the sprint. But it's good. But the Red Bulls are damn fast on the straights. Like, you can see videos of people, like, at the race, recording, like, the Red Bulls and then the Ferrari. The difference is a lot. Like, when you watch it, you don't think it's that much. Well, at least I don't think it's that much. But it's not. Okay, next up, you have Miami this weekend. Obviously, you've already seen some of the drivers. So Gordon, you did the first pitch for the Miami Marlins. Yeah, Lewis rocking up in his bright pink cargo pants, and he had a new Tommy Hilfiger and Mercedes drop. I'll put some pictures up because I can do that now. So I put some pictures up from that, and you had Mickey Schumacher and George Russell. Don't know why I was drawing a blank on his name. Maybe you got that as well. But this time for the race, so we have practice on Friday, practice 2 as well on Friday, then practice 3 and qualifying on Saturday, and the main race. For me, because of the time differences, everything is in the morning. So I'm like, do I want to wake up? Maybe not. I will though. But also, the makeup brand Tarte is having a trip for influencers to go to the Miami Grand Prix. And I think it's about fair, just because, like, these influencers, like, okay, some of them might know F1, like, some of them might not. These are opportunities that, like, fans will never get. Like, some fans won't be able to afford the cost of an F1 ticket, or, like, they might not have a race near them that they can go to. So it's just unfair, I think, because these fans, like I said earlier, waking up early in the morning to, like, watch these races, and, like, they can't actually go see drivers live, but celebrities who know nothing about the race can go. So I think that's really upsetting, but, I mean, it brings money, and having these celebrities there, like, pushing for F1, so I understand it, but again, still not fair at all. But after Miami, you have Imola, and then Monaco. Before you follow them from that, you have Spain and Canada. So we've got a good lineup of races after this one. So we're hoping for positives. I love Canada. I like the Canadian race, just because, like, I remember last year they had the Montreal Canadiens, so Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield. I think there was one more, I don't remember who. I just remember Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield. They were showing Fernando Alonso around the Bell Center, and it was just before the draft. And I loved it. Like, and Fernando, like number was 14, and Nick Suzuki, the guy who's driving around, who's like captain of the Montreal Canadiens, his number is also 14, and it was so sweet because, like, there's one moment when they're looking up at the rafters where all the numbers are hung, like all the retired numbers, and Fernando's like, oh, maybe you can get 14 up there, and Nick's like, oh, maybe, yeah, but I think they should retire the number 14, because Nick Suzuki's been a good captain. Like, he's first year as a captain, but he's been a good captain, and, he's Asian, he has Asian heritage as well, and it really pushes for there to be a difference. Like, you see a lot of push for, like, the black community as well, and now push for Asian community, but having a captain in that team like that, and he's part of, he works within the organization to push for, like, Asian heritage. I think that's great, and He's a very like calm person, and I think he's just a good captain. And that is my take on it. But still talking about F1. Moving on to F2 in Baku. Oh my gosh, Ollie Behrman. Like, hello. This guy really popped off during Baku. He dominated every like practice. He is a sprint race winner. He is a feature race winner. I think he qualified in pole, but he crashed his car a little bit, so there's a bit of damage. He still got the fastest lap. Like, okay, in the feature race, we had Ollie Behrman first, Enzo Fittipaldi in second, and then Teo Pourchaire third. And also, may I add, Ollie Behrman is a rookie. I'm just saying. A sprint race win was Ollie Behrman, Frederick Chesty, so both Prama's getting a podium on that, and Jack Crawford. So Jack Crawford was Ollie's teammate in F3, and at that time he drove for Prama as well, but now he drives for High Tech. And I just love that sprint race podium. I think it's because I watched Ollie and Jack in F3 and Frederick at F2 last year. So this just like made my heart just swell. It was really good. But yeah, the next F3 race, so F2 doesn't drive in Miami, but they do drive in Imola, Monaco, and then Barcelona again. They don't drive in Canada either, so the next time we'll see them will be in Spielberg. So Canada, hockey, CHL. We've still got our CHL playoffs going on, so we have. Okay, so last week I spoke about who's going into round 2, but let me give a quick recap for that. So, for round 2, we had the Winnipeg Ice against the Moose Jaw Warriors, and Winnipeg won in Game 6. We had the Saskatoon Blades against the Red Deer Rebels, and Saskatoon won in Game 7. So I'm just like looking at like games and like who won which game. So Red Deer, so Saskatoon trailed in this series because Red Deer won the first 3 games. Saskatoon won the next 4 games. So that is a big comeback. Next we had the Seattle Thunderbirds against the Prince George Cougars, and Seattle swept that series. We had the Kamloops Blazers against the Portland Winterhawks, and Kamloops swept this series. So in round 3, the Winnipeg Ice against the Saskatoon Blades, Winnipeg swept this series. So 2 days. So yeah. Now we've got the Seattle Thunderbirds against the Kamloops Blazers. Seattle lead this series right now 2-1. They are playing Game 4 today, so they're playing Game 4 Thursday the 4th. So the results will be out when this podcast airs. So our round 4 will be Winnipeg Ice against either Seattle or Kamloops. So that's going to be really interesting to see. Seattle and Kamloops are both very strong considering they swept that last series that they played. Seattle also swept the first series they played, so you can see that Kamloops is a strong contender. I don't know who will win. I don't know who I think would win. This is a very, I don't know. I just don't know who'd win. And I don't know who I'd want to win. But moving on to the OHL. So again, we've got round 3. We don't have round 4. Like, we don't have anyone who's swept. Both series are tied. Let me just give a round 2 recap and then round 3. So we had London Knights against the Kitchener Rangers, and London won that in Game 5. The Sarnia Sting against Saginaw Spirits. Sarnia swept that series. We had the Ottawa 67s against the Peterborough Petes, and Peterborough won that in Game 6. And then North Bay Battalion against the Barrie Colts. North Bay won that series in Game 7. Now we have North Bay Battalion against the Peterborough Petes, and like I said, it's tied 2-2, and they play Game 5 on the 5th, so Friday the 5th of May. Then we have the London Knights against the Sarnia Sting, and again, tied series at 2-2, play Game 5 on Friday the May the 5th. I don't know where I'm getting like my dates and days mixed up. I don't know. Anyways, moving on to the Q&A channel. This is where I butcher the names, and I'm so sorry for that. To save everyone's ears, I'm just gonna say round 2. Round 3. So we have the Quebec Remparts against the Gatineau Olympiques, and then Quebec swept this series, so they're moving on to the finals. And then we have Halifax Mooseheads against the Sherbrooke Phoenix, and Sherbrooke lead the series 2-1, but they are playing Game 4 right now. And currently Halifax leads that score 2-0. So it might be tied for Game 5. So obviously this means Quebec is in the finals, and we're just waiting on Halifax or Sherbrooke. I want Halifax to go through to the finals. Now I said that, Sherbrooke's probably going to go through the finals, but we'll see next week, hopefully. And now finally we have the NHL playoffs for the Stanley Cup. Okay, Seattle, Colorado series. Big upset there. Seattle knocking off our current Stanley Cup champions in Game 7. I watched the game a little bit, like the beginning and then the ending. It was upsetting to see, they had one offside play, like it was a goal and then it was offside. One hit from Jordan Eberle on I don't remember who was on. Nothing was called, but things happen for a reason. So yeah, now we've got Seattle against Dallas, because Dallas beat Minnesota in Game 6. Seattle currently lead because they played yesterday, and they're playing today as well. They didn't play yesterday, they played 2 days ago, and they're playing today as well. So it's only Game 2. Whoever could win this game, it's a long series as well. Next we have Vegas and Winnipeg, so Vegas won that in Game 5. They play the Edmonton Oilers, who won in Game 6. But Vegas currently leads the series, and the score, I think it was 6-4. All 4 goals were scored by Leon Draisaitl. And then going back to the Seattle Dallas game, the score was tied 4-4 because I think Seattle won in overtime. All 4 goals scored by Joe Pavelski, who came back after concussion in the series with Minnesota in game 1, I'm pretty sure. It's game 1 or 2, early in the series. That's just crazy. Moving on, We had Boston, Florida. Florida won in game 7 in overtime. Toronto, Tampa, Toronto winning in game 6. Obviously, Carolina, New York, Carolina won with New Jersey, New York Rangers. New Jersey won. Sorry, in game 7 after trailing 2-0. They won it. The score was 4-0. Shout out for Kira Schmidt. You know, the first goal by Michael McLeod. And then we had Thomas Tatar. And then I think it was Eric Howla who scored. And then Jesper Bratt with an open net. Empty net. It was such a good game. And I'm so excited. And so now we have Florida, Toronto. Florida leads currently. But Matthew Nyes got his first NHL goal. And it was so cute. I say so cute, but like a cute moment. Because Austin Matthews passed it to him, and then he scored, and it was such a nice little move around in front of the goalie to get it to the net. And like, look up at my Arizona natives, so my little girly heart was like, oh, adorable. And then Matthews was the first person to go to him for the group selling. I was like, oh, my heart can't take it anymore. But yeah, we have that. And then we have the Carolina, New Jersey series, so Carolina leads that. They played yesterday. I think New Jersey only had 1 goal from Nate Bastian, but I'm going to take this as them getting to just feel out Carolina. Both teams are very well matched. They're both fast. They're both very offensive teams. But the thing with Carolina is that Table Teravainen out with a broken hand. Andrei Svechnikov out because of his ACL. And I think Lindy Ruff should put in Luke Hughes in defense. He's very good. He's a very good defense player. He plays really well. He's just that player that they need for this series. But hey, Lindy's the coach. His decisions. That's just my opinion. Moving on, we have some of our finalists for the series NHL awards. For the Norris, James Norris Memorial Trophy, we have Adam Fox from the Rangers. Ran out of storage, but we have Adam Fox from the Rangers, Eric Carlson for the Sharks, and Cale McCarr for the Avalanche. Then you have Calder, so that's for your rookies. You have Matty Beniers for the Krakens, Owen Power for the Sabres, and Stuart Skinner for the Oilers. I have personal opinions on the Calder, but I think Owen Power should win. I also did not know Stuart Skinner was a rookie until his name was mentioned in Calder conversations. For the Frank J. Selke Trophy, you have Patrice Bergeron from the Bruins, Nico Hischier from the Devils, and Mitch Marner for the Leafs. I like all 3 picks. And I remember the Boston Florida game at the end, Patrice Bergeron's giving all his teammates hugs. When he got Brad Marchand, I was in tears. Because I don't think Bergeron's coming back for another season. And that you can tell just by those 2 hugging alone, that was it for them. Then you have the Lady stripping memorial trophy. And our finalists are Jack Hughes for the Devils, Anze Kopitar for the Kings, and Braden Point for the Lightning. I don't really have an opinion on this trophy yet. Like, I know people would expect, like, oh, Jack Hughes, but I like Anze Kopitar. Like, he's a very good captain and everything. I don't know much about Braden Point, so I can't really say, like, oh, I want him to win. But yeah, that's really it. And, the draft is soon. Draft lottery is on Monday, May the 8th. And then the draft is end of June. It's gonna be fun. We've got a lot lined up for like that. So it's gonna be great. And thank you for listening to this episode of Talk from Podiums. And I'll see you guys next week.